Hopefully you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Good. I don't know. But like I was talking about, it's all about protecting and nourishing and loving my inner child. Like I was looking at things that I used to do as a kid. Like I used to have this is like this machine and it was like a DIY sticker maker. And I would love if I had one of those again. Like, and then y'all remember that baby doll? It's called like Baby Alive, and the Baby Alive doll is like it had these little cherries on the spoon. And to this day, I still don't know how it works. You know, that's like magic. It's like magic to me. So it's like I'm just nurturing a space that my inner child loves, and since I am home 99% of the time, why not make it a place that I love? So, being that I don't work anymore because I don't work for things, things work for me. Being that I don't work anymore, and my body requires lots of rest, and my body requires, yeah, basically, my body requires lots of rest. I'm tired a lot just because. So, one thing that I guess people really don't understand is that chronic fatigue accompanies chronic pain because it's exhausting being in pain all the time. Matter of fact, someone more eloquent than me can say exactly why that is. Okay, so does being in chronic. Somebody said, does being in chronic pain burn calories? I'm gonna slap whoever said that. If it did, my ass wouldn't be this big. Come on now. Does being in chronic pain cause. Does chronic pain cause fatigue? Okay. Yes, chronic pain can cause severe fatigue. The constant stress on your body and mind drains your energy, making it hard to feel rested. Why chronic pain causes fatigue? Bad sleep. Pain makes it hard to fall asleep and stay asleep, preventing your body from getting deep rest. Constant pain keeps your body on high alert, wearing out your energy reserves with stress hormones like cortisol. Many drugs used to treat pain have tiredness as a side effect. Moving less because of pain can weaken your muscles, meaning your body needs more energy to do everyday tasks. Ongoing swelling or immune response in the body uses up a lot of energy. So it's basically being in chronic pain is exhausting, and it's just like a cycle that repeats. Okay, hi. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me because I just had to close out my other live video because everyone said they couldn't hear me. So then I put my AirPods in, got my crowns on. So, yeah, so being in chronic pain. Hi, 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 everyone. Being in chronic pain. Okay, good. Thank you. Being in chronic pain causes your body to be chronically fatigued. And that wasn't something I really understood because I've been tired basically my whole life. Hi, hello, hello. Um, but yeah, so if you didn't know that, that's why chronic fatigue syndrome often accompanies chronic pain. How am I? I am vibing and thriving. I'm doing good. I'm just chronicling my everyday life. Oh, y'all want to see another cute pen? This is another cute pen I got. So obviously I love mermaids. Am I a teacher? Yeah, I'm a teacher at the School of Hard Knocks. I got another pen. It's a mermaid pen. Obviously, this is my favorite Rooney right now because that. No, I'm not a teacher. My mother was a teacher. My mother was a special ed teacher, but I don't have like I could teach as long as I didn't have to see people. Because I can, as much as it seems like I'm a very socially outgoing person, like whenever the mood is right, whenever I am around people, like, yeah, I tend to be like, I'm not even the life of the party, I'm the party, right? So whenever I'm around people and whenever I'm out on social outings, which are few and far between, yeah, of course, everyone thinks I'm super social. But people don't know is that like after the sociability is done, it's like I have to go back into my cocoon. It's like I'll go out and be out in the world, you know, just doing my bibbity bobbity boo. And then I come back home and then I have to rest, recharge, regenerate, rejuvenate, because a lot of times being around people is draining. And I know people don't mean to be draining, but a lot of times people will just steal your energy even if they don't mean to. Because if you're not on, like I said, I always talk about this, if you're not on the same wavelength as someone else, if you're not on the same frequency, then oftentimes they're coming to you for like a boost. So someone's coming to you for a boost, right? They're getting a boost from you, and they're not leaving you with anything. So like their boost is your drain. And a lot of times with social interactions, I really feel drained. Like they're just very draining to me. And I've had to learn to enjoy my solitude, because I did used to be a very social, a very outgoing person. I used to go out all the time, like back when I was, you know, quote unquote more healthy, before I had or knew I had all these ailments that I have. Like when I was young in my 20s, I used to go out every weekend. Like I said, I was the life of the party. Everybody knew me. 68. Well, one more number and we could have fun, but no. Um, back when I, like I said, back when I was young, I used to have all kinds of fun just being around people. And now that I've gotten older, like I'm not in my 20s anymore, I'm almost out of my 30s. Now I've gotten to the point where I enjoy my solitude. So when I do go out and I'm around people, because I'm not used to it anymore, the interactions tend to be draining. Unless I find someone who is like on par with me, somebody that can go toe to toe with me, somebody that can have like a witty banter with me, somebody that can have a conversation that doesn't leave me feeling drained. And I have one person like that. Like we call ourselves the Golden Girls, even though there's only two of us. My bestie, she was my neighbor, and she didn't want nothing to do with me when we were neighbors. But then I moved out, and since the day I moved out, we've been like inseparable. We talk on the phone all the time. But she's like, because we are on the same frequency. And then other people that I was dealing with, they left me feeling drained. And that's like, sometimes that's a sign that you just need to like cut the cord and let people go out of your life, or at least give yourself a break from them. Like I highly encourage friendship breaks. And sometimes those breaks will be permanent, because people don't understand that you needing to not be around them, it's not about them, it's about you. It's like I even take a break from my mama sometimes. You know, like my mama was getting on my nerves. So guess what? Like I was like, listen, I was like, I just need a break. Like I'm going off the grid for a minute. I at least gave her the courtesy of telling her this time, you know. But sometimes I don't know, especially if you're like me, because I used to be such an extrovert, and to be from like the most extroverted of the extroverts to be the most introverted of introverts, it is it's a big change. You know, it's like, okay, so if we're gonna talk, it's like going from this to this, right? So this is the person I used to be all the time, you know, loud, seen, heard, you know, very out there. And like this is more the person that I'm now on the outside. I'm still this person on the inside, but most people don't get to see that. Most people don't get to see the real me. Like this is probably the most authentic me that there is, because it's just me chilling. Like I'm just me talking to my invisible audience, you know. And even if there's nobody here, like right now, even if there's nobody here, I still am able to talk to myself in a way that is, this is like therapy to me. And maybe I need to go get a therapist and sit on someone's couch and talk about my childhood trauma. But that again, that's not my methodology. Like I will write about it. Okay, speaking of childhood trauma, let's see. Let's see. Because you know I got a poem for that. I have a poem for just about everything. So let's see. We can delve into some childhood trauma. Ooh, okay, branch. Family, family, family tree. Family tree. Okay. So this is when so when did I write this? I don't remember. But I wrote this a few years ago. I wasn't in contact with any of my family. I moved away from everyone. My family lives in South Carolina. I moved up to New York, and that's where I currently still live. I'm back in touch with some of my family now, but for many years I was a ghost, and I was just so far removed from my family that I felt like I'm the limb that was cut from my family tree, and that was the first line of the poem. So okay, hold on. Let me turn my fan. God dog. Ignore my pajamas. Okay, so all right, outlandish behavior. Subscribe to. I am very outlandish as well. Thank you for the subscribe. Okay, so I said I'm the limb that was cut from my family tree. I branched out and made my own roots, rising up within the debris. The apple fell far, far away into another garden, and now it's free. Take a bite, feel my plight. These words are my everlasting decree. They say it takes a village, but mine was burned and pillaged. A team where all the players are me. How can I win the scrimmage? Living life alone, loneliness to the bone seems less than idyllic. But I'm no longer a tool to be used. It's a picture perfect image. There's no one to disappoint when gold pierces my skin or when ink enters my veins. I don't have to pretend that I'm just the same, that I belong with them. I am who I am. I'm not who I'm not. It is what it is. I carve my own path with blood, sweat, and tears. I make no apologies for how I choose to spend my years. Miss me with your concern, forget me in your prayers. I'm a million miles away, but you still feel me there. Okay, let you pull up. I got a Glock. What is my location? Hell. Um, let me pull up. I got a Glock. I got a Glock. No one cares. Laugh out loud. Okay. I always find it so ironic that people will be like, I don't care. But if you don't care, that's not something that has to be announced. It's like you don't have to go around announcing the things that you hate or you don't like. You just don't give them any attention. Like I don't give attention to things or people that I don't like. I don't have to go around and say, I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like you. I just don't have to give them any attention. So for the fact that you're like, oh, let me pull up. No one cares. Um, I mean, obviously you care enough that you have to comment one, two, three, 5 times in a row. So my location, well, if you're paying attention or if you just put up, I told you I live in New York City, the borough of Brooklyn. So y'all see my thing, right? BK? Okay. Snatch the crown. I had to have it my way. I'm repping Brooklyn, so it's BK all day. I put that in a poem too. So yeah, we were talking about childhood trauma, or I was talking about childhood trauma. Um, what's another one? Ooh, hold on. Um, oh, so I was raised religious. I was raised Mormon, and obviously, I'm not Mormon now. And a lot of the way that I was raised to be, I have become what I was told not to be. You know, I was told that to be modest, to be, demure. I was told to be, I was told to be things that I knew I could never make myself into, no matter how much I tried. It's like I can, you can tell me all day to turn myself into a piece of paper, right? But it doesn't matter how much I try, I'm not going to be able to turn myself into a piece of paper. It's like they were trying to turn me into a piece of paper that they could write their own little ink on and lies and tell me who I'm supposed to be. And I just couldn't do that. And so, I don't blame my parents. They were passing down what they were taught. But just because you were taught something doesn't mean it's right. And so that's why I put in one of my poems. I said, kids say the darndest things, but then they learn to socialize. They learn what's not acceptable to say and how to tell the social lies of the little white variety and sometimes the pretty little kind. The lies of omission, deceitful, disillusional, duplicitous, demoralized. No prophetic soothsaying, just on your knees praying to a God that's not even alive. Eat this, do that. Don't eat that, it'll make you fat. Every choice made for you feels like the tip of a knife. They say respect your elders, but treat you like a failure when you decide to make up your own mind. How dare you be your own person and not the result of scriptural verses? Thou shalt not determine how I live my life. They say only God can judge me, but at the same thing, they begrudge me. Hypocrites can't cross this divide. Religion are those. Excuse me. Religion is for those who are asleep. I pray they read it and weep. Jesus fucking Christ. So, I am personally anti-religion. Like, I feel like religion is for people who are asleep, but people who have found religion or found God, I'm sure they have their own reasons for, being found by God. Religion is for people who can't save themselves, which is why they need someone to save them. And if you even if you delve apart the words, I like looking at the etymology of words. Okay, we're gonna worship, right? We're gonna look what that word means. Okay, so it's like, to me, worship, worth, ship. You take your worth and you ship it to somebody else, because if you knew your own worth, you wouldn't look to God to find it. You would know that God is in you, right? You would know that if you believe in God, then you are part of God's creation and you're God too, right? If you are God's creation, then you are also divine yourself. Okay, so the word worship comes from the old English words we earth the Skype or worthship, meaning worthiness, honor, or condition of being worthy. It is a combination of worth and the suffix scrip, ship, denoting state or condition. At its core, the etymological meaning is ascribing worth or due recognition to someone valuable. So you take your worth and then you ship it away. You're giving your worth, aka your power, away to a so-called higher being. And I feel like, with what Jesus can do, right? So they say, Jesus came down and performed all these miracles, and he did all these things while in a human body. And, they say faith can move mountains. If you have enough faith, you can do anything. So why is it that Jesus, who was able in a human body, was able to perform such miracles? Then why can't we? Why is no one around walking on water? Why is no one parting the Red Sea? Why are the followers of Jesus who claim they have faith, why do they not have enough faith to be able to do the things that he did? It's like Jesus already done saved y'all. Jesus showed up and he performed all these miracles, and it shows you basically like, if I can do it, you can do it too, because Jesus was just a human, just like us, right? That's what it means to me. And I don't believe that, oh, we're supposed to wait for Jesus to come again and Jesus died for our sins and all that. I feel like sin is a human concept, and being that we're in human bodies, it makes sense. But there's no real right and wrong. Right and wrong are human labels, and being that these are human labels, you can't apply human labels to something that is divine. But that's just me. So I have a very big problem with religion in my personal life, and I just don't. It's just not for me. I understand why it's for some people. Some people use it as a coping mechanism. Some people think that, their riches are waiting for them in heaven. And that's why I feel like religion is a scam. It's like they teach you to be poor in this life and your riches are waiting for you in heaven. But don't forget to put a 10 in the plate on Sunday. Right? So it's like, don't forget to give all of your riches to Jesus. And it's crazy because Jesus fed the hungry. He did things for the poor. So y'all aren't very Jesus like. Y'all aren't doing things in Jesus' image if y'all are taking money from the worshipers of Jesus. That is that's a scam. That's why all these mega churches and all that. Like if you're a mega church, I already know that you ain't no Jesus believer. You are Jesus deceiver. And speaking of religion, I write so many poems I tend to forget until they come up. Like I have 251 notes in my iCloud. Mad skeletons hanging in my closet, but I make no bones about it. Bad religion, how I'm living. I made a home about it. Madder than a hatter and sharper than a tack. Turn around and run away. I'm coming to attack. I see you running in place. Inescapable is the hour upon which lies your fate. If I cannot move heaven, I'll raise hell. Bony joints anoint your way to the pearly gates. You scraping the bottom of the barrel. I'm at the top of the food chain. Mouth foaming like I'm feral. The madness embalmed in the folds of my brain. When it comes to war, best believe I run this shit like a monopoly. Take you to jail, lock you in a cell. I'm where gods look up. No one can topple me. A roll of the dice and you only have your life. Pay me what you owe me. You landed on my property. You run around screaming gang gang, but your pockets don't go clang clang. They see how low you can go, how far your fake chain hang. Do they know you pretend you go bang bang? But the truth is you really can't hang, man. An illusion gave you a contusion. Deception is an art not easily maintained. Don't want the smoke, don't start a fire like the one burning in my veins. So, I always talk about religion in a way that is very derogatory to people that believe in it. It's like I say I remix reality. So I'll take anything that I've learned or that I've been told, and I'll be like, "Well, this is what you taught me, but this is what I made up at it." Like you give me some raw ingredients, and I'll bake a cake. And you thought it was just supposed to be raw ingredients. No. Like, what's another one I said about Jesus? Now, there was one I did about the seven deadly sins. Seven. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. They told me I'd end up. They told me I'd end up alone if I didn't change, but me is who I really need. Avoiding gluttonous graces, avoiding gluttonous grazes, grinning with greed, aching to plant their seeds. Envious envoys spreading poisonous lies, lustful double takes make them weak in the knees. Pride comes before the fall, but my roots are sturdy like I planted a tree. Iron wrath browns green glass, slow and steady like a sloth. The plague takes over, blood escaping can't be clotted with a cloth. The seven are deadly, but mine are so much worse for wear. I'll murder you with words, feel the cut of every adjective, feel the burn of every verb as flesh tears. Business and pleasure don't mix, but it's a pleasure doing business that leaves no eyewitness. That was a bar. I cut you into the quicksand up to your ears, sinking with an unholy swiftness. Down farther, dig deeper, meet the grim reaper, get down with the sickness. Whether in the book of world records or intoxicating your senses, I'm something akin to a Guinness. Birds of a feather flock together, but I'm a solitary bird of prey, sweeping the skies from above, awaiting my chance to slay. I'm the arrow that flies true across the red, white, and blue. I can take a moving target and have the landscape rain the scarlet. Letters they like to brand me with. Ooh. Letters they like to brand me with as if I'm a harlot. Reality reconciles the fact that I'm a starlet untarnished. The best of you made flesh, a goddess incarnate. So y'all remember that story, the Scarlet Letter. Where what was her name? Hester. What was her name? Scarlet Letter. What was that bitch's name? Scarlet Letter characters. Yeah, Hester Prynne. Well, Hester Prynne, was branded with the letter A for adulterer. I mean, I would have took that A and made it stand for anything else. Abysmal, apocalyptic, a plum. Like I would have, just because they try to brand you with a letter, doesn't mean that you have to represent what they want it to mean. Like again, you can. So if someone tried to put like the words whore above my head or something, I would take that meaning and I would turn it into something else. Like I would take it and act like it's an acronym for something. So what would I say? Okay, holy hostile on holy hostile on something something something. But the whole point is, if you don't have to take something that somebody tries to brand you with, and you don't have to make it mean what they think it means. Like, that's why a lot of times when you reclaim words that are used against you, they have power. It's like taking your power back. Yeah, it's like taking your power back in order to not have it wielded against you. Because what you give power to has power over you. That's a good one. What you give power to has power over you. Ba-da-da-da-da. Okay. What you give power to has power over you. Okay, I know what word I used in this. I know I use this. Sometimes I have to use the word. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one. So, whenever I first moved to New York, it was because, I went through an abrupt bad divorce. I lost custody of my kids. I was homeless. Like everything, my entire house of cards collapsed, like literally overnight. I went from being a full time stay at home mom. Well, not a stay at home mom because I was working at the time. I went from being a full time mom with two kids to not seeing my children at all. I was living in a hotel, went from living into a hotel to living into a car. And all the people who were supposed to be there for me were not. And that's why I didn't even talk to my mom for a few years. We just now have reached the point in our relationship where we have a relationship again. But I didn't talk to that bitch for years. And I forgive her, but they say you're supposed to forgive and forget. I don't forget. I don't care what the Bible says. I'm not part of your book club. Don't tell me what the Bible says and how you're supposed to do this and do that, because I play by my own rules, but I break them when I need to. You dig? So, um, again, a lot of the poems that I write, it's just the way that I think. So, like I said, I went missing and no one came looking for me, so I had to find myself. And that's the truth. Like, I went missing, I just disappeared off the grid. And, you know, any parent, no matter how old you are, they're going to be like, come home right this instant, young lady, or I'm going to do this. You can come stay with me. You can do this. Like, all the things that I was expecting did not happen. I was just left to my own devices. And even though I was grown, you still always expect that your parent will be there for you. It's like nobody expects that their parent is going to be like, nah, you can't, you and your kids can't come stay with me. And it was some bullshit. The reason why, was because of my abusive brother. And I get that. But it would have been nice for someone to stand up for me, but for someone to come looking for me when I went missing, but no one did. So that's why I said I went missing and no one came looking for me. So I had to find myself. I went off the grid for years and reemerged as someone else. I faced all my fears and the tyranny has left me with no fear in me. Only shadows and ghosts would like to invade my host, sickening in through pockmarked skin. Take your pick of scars, fought from few and far between the galaxies and stars. A rolling stone gathers no moss. I germinate and leave roots planted in my wake. On the days I want to throw in the towel, I dust myself off and vocalize vows. I have every reason to quit and a few important reasons to never stop. I didn't want to spit, but I can't keep these words within my lips. I pour the pain from demons that haunt me in my walking days to words emblazoned with emotion in the stellar haze. I can take any turn of phrase, give it a different spin, and send it your way. What you give power to has power over you. I transformed it and I'm coming to attack. A chameleon. Ugh, I'm messing up. A chameleon, a brilliant shade of vermilion. Reptilian, cold-blooded devils daring dominion. Venerated as we're regenerated. Generations change while still staying the same. My mind speaks in nonsensical double entendres, triple entendres. Let me start that. Let me run that back. My mind speaks in nonsensical single selections, double entendres, triple entendres, triple ensembles, quadratic equations, quintessentially questions. I got your Six Flags flying, 7 minutes in heaven, 8 legs lying, dressed to the nines, 99% of the time. I keep it 100. So yeah, that was just about power. And we all inherently have power, and you can amass more power. It's like, okay, so power is like energy. And what's one of the fundamental rules of the universe? The law of conservation of energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed. So, and energy and mass are equivalent. Obviously, E equals mc squared. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. So, energy, mass, they're equivalent. They're here. Same frequency, right? So, being that we have mass, we have energy, but we have a finite amount of energy, power, right? So, energy is mass, mass and energy are equivalent, power and energy are equivalent, right? And if you take your power and you give it away, well, that leaves it for someone else to amass, right? Just like when you worship, you take your worth and you ship it away. Because if you were aware and you knew your own worth, you wouldn't give away your power. You have to take your power back. There's a lot of things that give power. There's a lot of things that are an even exchange of energy, but most things, it's not equal. One thing that's not an equal exchange, I was talking about this yesterday. One thing that's not an even exchange of power, sex. So as the woman, you're always getting, oh my God. So as a woman, if you're a woman and you're having sex with a man, you're inherently getting less because you're the person who is being penetrated. You're inherently more vulnerable. You are the one that can leave the situation pregnant. Men will never know what it's like to have to worry the next few weeks after sleeping with a man if you could possibly be carrying his seed. So a lot of times, even though it feels great, I have had the best sex in life imaginable, and it was draining. Like, it felt so good physically, and it felt infernally empty. I wrote a poem about that. I'm telling you, I have a poem for everything, and if I don't, there's one coming soon. Okay, so this was after, this was the last relationship I had. That was a vacationship. It was like a fake relationship. And we were just playing house. We were pretending that we were in love and we're gonna be together, but it was bullshit, right? So, um, this is here's an excerpt out of that. I'm about to read the whole thing, but how it made me feel was how the sex was so great, but it was draining. I'll just read the whole thing. A liar and a half times two makes three, but you did 10 times that. It should be a felony. 30 squared with a double dare, neither here or there. Add another 30 here and 10 there equals 100 ways I'll let you phase me. But in the end, you were just a phase to me. Castigated in the conundrum. Where did you get that gun from? And why are you pointing it at me? What did I do to deserve the hurt from you? Nothing is the truth, but you blame me. Death by 1,000 cuts, a torturous way to go. Just ask me, I bear the scars where you drain me. I have myself to blame. There was never any gain, just torturous ecstasy. It wasn't worth the pain as I lay here slain, wondering how great it could be. It was a sinfully seductive way to siphon all my energy that left me infernally empty. I know I'm the prize and you were just some guy who proved himself unworthy. And so this is what I was talking about, like the sex part. I have myself to blame. There was never any gain, just torturous ecstasy. It was a sinfully seductive way to siphon all my energy. I'm gonna say it again. It was a sinfully seductive way to siphon all my energy that left me infernally empty. I know I'm the prize and you were just some guy who proved himself unworthy. Unworthy. Get out of here. Bippity boppity boo. Go away. This is about to be my new thing. I can't stop. I need more of these. I don't know where I got this from. I forgot I had it until I cleaned, like I said, until I cleaned up my bag just now. Sad, so sad. So yeah, I am about to be on my cleanse. Like, if you watch my older videos, you always see me with nails, hair done, eyebrows done, everything. I just cut the nails off, so I'm just trying to. This is a good analogy I use. I use it a lot. So imagine this is an arrow, right? and you want that arrow to become like a missile, a projectile, right? So what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna take it and throw it? Are you gonna take the drawstring and draw back, notch that arrow, and then let it fly, right? So sometimes, in order to move yourself forward, you have to go back a little bit. And my way of going back is to just to cut off all things like material, like things that I love doing, um like obviously my aesthetic, tattoo, nails, hair, piercings, and none of that's really on display right now. I mean, my piercings, yeah, and my tattoos. I have I have an outline on the front of my thigh. I'm not even worried about that right now because I was like from March. I want to say from March until like the end of the beginning of June. So I had like a 4 month stretch where I was just in the tattoo shop every week, just working on my stuff. I'll go through these spurts where it's just like I'll go from minimalism to maximumism, and then the pendulum swings back and forth. So once I have had my fill of the material, it's like, okay, sometimes I'll fall back on that. And then this is me just pulling back the drawstring of the bow so I can go forward. Or like those little race cars, right? That you pull it back and then you let it go and then it shoots off. So sometimes you gotta go back to go forwards. And that's why I use analogies, because analogies like that are easy to understand. Even a toddler could understand that. So, but let me read y'all something from when. Let me read you the first poem I wrote in 20 something years. So I wrote this January 20, January 26th. Why do I keep saying 26? January 6th, 2023. And this is when I was with that ex. I felt like I was in love. I was feeling feelings that I hadn't felt before. It was a very intense relationship. So even though our lifestyles were not compatible at all, like I'm a homebody. Even when I was working like home, I used to work and I would work and I'd be in bed. I was back when I was in very like low vibration mode, like low vibration, like smoking, drinking, partying, fucking all base level things that are not going to make you take your higher self to the next level. But it felt so good. Like the love that I thought I had, like I remember I could just think about him and I would just get these like massive dopamine hits. It's like, when they say love's like a drug, that in that case it was. And it was unhealthy because whenever he ghosted me, it was, I ended up in the fucking hospital because I put so many things to the side. Like, I'm very much let's just put this on the shelf. And then next thing you know, the shelf is falling down on top of you and you're buried under it. I put so many things on the shelf. I ignored so many red flags in favor of the person that I wished he was, but not who he actually was. But so yeah, like I had a mental breakdown, and it wasn't because he left me. That was the catalyst. That was the catalyst to me realizing a lot of things. Like, they say love is blind, and I was fucking Delulu. I was like the queen of Delulu. But when I was in it, it felt good, even though my spirit knew it wasn't right. But I would just ignore my own intuition. And I put that in a poem too. I said, you placated me with promises of the future that never came to fruition. They made me feel crazy for listening to my own intuition. Right. But before all that, he was my muse. He was the person that, I won't say he inspired me to write, because how many bitches have you digged down and they came to you with like a banger? None, right? But the way that I felt was so intense that writing was an outlet to me. Like I had to get it out. And that's how I am now. I'm a very emotive writer. Everything I write is based on an emotion or how I'm feeling or something like that. And I feel like this one is so trash. But this was the first poem I wrote in 20 something years. And it's hard for me to even read it because a lot of these I can still relate to. 99% of them I can relate to, but this I can't relate to it because I don't feel that way anymore. So I don't even feel like when I read it, I'm doing it justice because, like I said, I don't feel that way anymore. But I'm going to read it anyway. I want you. I have no fear. I'm gonna love you forever. Whisper it in your ear while you're deep inside me, grinding where you meant to be. Fuck, I just want simplicity. Be complicit. Be illicit. Be my partner in crime. Yeah, we live this life together like Bonnie and Clyde. No Jekyll and Hyde. I can never hide. The way I feel for you, you're everything I want personified. All my dreams come true. This wasn't what I wanted. Now I want nothing more. You showed me something different that was better than before. We shine so bright it hurts their eyes. Feel so much emotion that it made me cry. On the one hand, I love you. On the other, I do too. Put them both together. There ain't nothing we can't do. Oh, where did it go? Words can't express how I truly feel. Just know that all of this is real. You feel like home. You feel like where I belong. You make me feel like I'm on a throne. I'm the queen to your king. The lyrics to the song you sing, the cup in which you fill your drink, the song you listen to on repeat, the cup in which you fill your drink, the song you listen to on repeat, the sunshine to your darkest days, the one for which you have always prayed. I'm the air in your lungs, I'm on the tip of your tongue. I've waited for you for so long. With you, I could never go wrong. The soul that lives inside of me, I'm everything you will ever need. And I want to vomit just reading that. But at the time, it felt that's how I felt. I was deeply in love. I was deeply enamored with someone who obviously did not deserve that intense emotion for me because he did nothing to earn it. I don't feel like love is something that you should fall in. It's something that you should grow in. My fucking lip is split on the side. It's super annoying. Let me see. Did my bestie read my text? Angie, where are you? I don't know if I can see it on there. I'm not gonna get off here. But so yeah, I use it as a mirror for a minute. So I have a lot of these spatula type things because usually I have nails and I don't like sticking fingers into these little pots. So I have these small ones for stuff like this, and then I have the larger ones. I have these, and then I have these for you know, like the body butters that you can scoop out and stuff. I'm very big into my skincare, but my lip is split, and it's like it's something that only happens like, okay, for instance, like my mouth will be dry at night or something, and then I'll wake up in the morning, and because my mouth is dry, I'll yawn or something, and then my lip will split. It's super annoying. Okay, let me see. What was I gonna do? So yeah, let me just go ahead and delete that. I was looking at a message from my piercer, my ex piercer. I've spoken about this story before, but let me just tell y'all about the audacity of men, right? So the audacity of men. Um, so I ordered some jewelry, some gold jewelry. It was $400. Some barbells, and from my piercer, and he was supposed to order them for me from wherever. It's like basically, I'm doing him a solid. Like I could have got them on my own, but I'm doing him a solid because I fuck with him. We've been, client, friend. Like we don't really see each other outside of the shop, but we've known each other for several years. He introduced me to my tattoo artist, and because I only wear gold jewelry, everything is gold. Of course, gold is more expensive. And so he ordered the wrong size barbells. And I was like, okay, well, just send them back and get me my money back. Like, so he's trying to bring the third party into it, right? Like, I understand that you ordered them from a supplier, but I ordered them from you. So it's like, I gave you my money, you gave me the rings. I give the rings back to you, you give me my money back. That's how a refund works, right? And so, he tells me he's going to wait till he gets a store credit because the whole thing was that the supplier would not give a refund, only a store credit. And I'm like, okay, but I didn't order them from them. I ordered them from you. And it's just like I should have known right from then it was going to be some bullshit. But, so I just didn't hear from him. Like it's a week after that. I'm like, hey, so what's going on? If you haven't sent them back, I'll just take them back and do whatever because this is getting to be too much. And then he's like, well, do you want some? Is there something else that you would have wanted? Basically, he's trying to give me some other jewelry or do some other shit that I don't want. I just want my money back. That's what a refund is. Damn it. I keep feeling it crack every time I open my mouth. And some people might say it's a sign I should shut up, but I don't believe that. So, where was I in my story? So we ended up going back and forth about it. I'm like, I don't want anything. I just want my money back. I told you when I handed these to you that I wanted my money back. That's it. And if it was just like a little slick $50 or $60, I would just let it go. But this was $400, right? And then he gives me an abrupt subject change. He had been flirtatious with me before, but never, we, like I said, we never saw each other outside the shop. We never did anything like that. And so it was like, he sends me this message and he's like, so are you like, you trying to get your back blown out or what? And I'm like, huh? Like, we're talking about you owing me money. And now you're asking if I want to get my back blown out. I'm like, and I'm just like clocking the abrupt subject change. And I'm like, he's trying to do some fly shit. And so in my head, I'm like, do you want to get your brains blown out? What kind of stupid ass question is that? Right? So he's asking me if I want to get my back blown out. Talking about he's going to bust me up as like some crab legs. I'm like, sir. And then the next thing he says, like, just had me so fucked up. I was like, I know he didn't. I know he didn't. I know he did not do that. And he says, well, if I do that for you, we'll be even. I'm sorry, what? He thought that he could come over and give me a little two pump chump, and that probably what would be equivalent to 10 minutes worth of dick would be worth $400. And I was, how they say my flabbers were gasted. My flabbers were gasted. I'm just like, what? Like, where do you get off? Of dick versus pussy reigns supreme, pussy supremacy. What do they say is the oldest profession? Prostitution. Why? Because men have always been out here paying for pussy. Nobody's out here paying for dick. If you are, you're hustling backwards, right? So it's like, I was appalled. I was affronted. Let me get this right. I was just aghast. Aghast. Oh no. I was aghast that this man offered me dick in lieu of a refund. I mean, I was just, like I said, my flappers were gasted. Oh, I can adjust this. Let's see. And this is just goes to show the audacity of man. And he's young. He's a little young blood. He's, I don't know, 30 or something. But it was the principle. It's like, damn well that, I mean, I thought he was joking. I was laughing. I was like, I sent him a laugh out loud emoji, but he was dead serious. He really thought that his dick would be worth $400 and that he could give me that instead of a refund. And what kind of business practice is that, sir? So, needless to say, I'm still owed $400, and I could take him to small claims court. I could go and do all these things, and I don't just take the L. Sometimes you just gotta take the L because I should have known better than to mess with him. And sometimes in life you just lose. But he lost more. He is the loser in the end because I spent probably thousands of dollars with him, and you sacrifice a beneficial relationship, a monetary relationship, for $400. So he, in the end, he walked away with $800. He ended up with a $400 store credit and the $400 he owed me. But you know, God, what can you do, man? You live and you learn. Hold on, this ain't acting right. I'll be right back.